So here is the wig cap I'll be using for today's tutorial, and if you're an OG, you already know that I love using this dumb cap. I don't really like to use the net cap, wig cap, because it easily gets torn, so that's why I really like to use this one, and for the fact that I have big head so that's why. And this can literally size any shape or any size of head. For this, I'll be using a mannequin head and also T-pins. Once I'm done placing, I'm using this measuring tape to just go ahead to mark out where I'm going to be stitching the hair or sewing in the weave-ons or weft of the hair. So we go ahead to mark out about 3 lines at the back, and then turn the mannequin head to the front, and then go ahead to mark out where I'm going to be closing the hair, or where I'm going to be doing the closing, which is like the parting. So we'll just go ahead to mark that out as well. Hi everyone, welcome back again to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. How is everyone doing today? This is a very detailed video. I advise you to watch the video from the beginning to the end so that you don't get to miss any single step. If you are new here, just go ahead to click on the subscribe button to join the family. Join the family, and also so that you don't get to miss it anytime I upload a new video here. So just go ahead and subscribe. Please share the video to friends and family. Give the video a big thumbs up, and also leave a comment on what you think about this hairstyle. So for the part, I want it to be like about 5-inch deep. I really want the part to be really deep, so that's why I'm making it 5-inch. I feel like when the part is deep, it gives like a fine fitting. So yeah. Moving on right now to the front, I will just go ahead to just rule out like a line from the part line down to like the ear side of the wig cap. So we'll be calling this part, or this line, I'll be calling it line B. So this line B, it's very, very important because of the style we are going for again. From there, we'll just start drawing lines from the part B line down to the other side of the ear, or down to the other side of the wig cap, like so.
It started like a raindrop.
And again, since it's a side part, I would love to add more hairs to where I have like enough space. That's the right hand side. So because of this reason, I will just be drawing more lines, and then this line I'm going to be adding, I'm not going to extend it to the other side of the wig cap. I'm just going to stop it at the middle part or the middle side. We just draw a line or rule a line from that line B down to the middle part, or down to the middle side of the wig cap. You guys get what I mean? This line is just going to be like a short line. It's not going to be extending. So after making that a short line, we just go ahead to still rule another line that will take from the line B straight down to the other side of the wig cap, so that it can be able to cover up that joint, the joint I'm going to be creating. So yeah, you guys just continue watching so that you understand what I'm doing. All right, anytime I do this line, the short line, I would go ahead to do a long line that I will rule from that line B straight down to the other side of the wig cap, and then the next line would be the short line again, and then the next line will be a long line. Hope you guys get it. This is so that it can be able to cover up, that's the long line can be able to cover up the short line, because when I'm going to be sewing in, I'm going to be doing like the turnover method. So I will want that long line to be able to cover up, like to stitch it in such a way that to be able to cover up that turnover, because the turnover is just going to be looking like off a little bit. You guys will get to see how I'm going to install the hair. So that's why I said just watch the video from the beginning to the end. So for the closing, you just want to like use the chalk to just draw like a line round and round, just to indicate where you're going to close the hair or close the wig or do the final closing. So yeah, this is what the guide looks like, the guidelines looks like, and this is how I'm going to be sewing, just the direction of the hair. That's how I'm going to be sewing the weave on. So I'm going to be using this pattern to just sew in the weave on, and you can actually use this to do like, you can actually use this pattern for a machine sewing, like if you want to sew the weave on. If you want to sew the weave on with a machine, you can use this pattern to do so. You can use your hand to also do so, like any of which you can just achieve. Like it's very, very easy to follow this. This is the hair I'll be using for this. It's called Daniela. For this, I'll be using about 2 packs of this particular hair. Alright, now it's time to start sewing in the hair. I already told you guys the hair I'm using for this video, so we just start stitching like so. I love to, when I want to start up the sewing or any sewing, I love to like you know, push my needle through the weft of the hair first before I take it straight up to the cap or the cornrow, like any of which. Like that's how I love to sew in, or how I like to start sewing in any weft.
There's only one way to go. No monsters in a dark side, dark side. I'm coming for the highs and lows. I am not afraid of mistakes. Rather figure out on the way. I'm not gonna hide what I feel. If it's real, if it's real.
For this, I'm doing the turnover method. I will just stitch from the left side of the ear down to the right side, and then move over to, like when I want to, I do not cut the weave on. I just go ahead to turn the weave on over to the next side and continue to sew in. And since I'm having like an inch space, it's not like a normal human being's hair. Since I'm having like up to 1 inch, I will just sew in the hair a little bit before I go ahead to turn it over. Like I sew it side a little bit before I go ahead to turn it over to the next line, just so that it can be able to meet up with the next line, and so that we don't have like an opening by the side. That's by the side, that's after turning it over, like an opening. We don't want to have that. So that's why I love to sew it a little bit, just sew it a little bit before I, you know, take it over to the next line while sewing, and then turn it over from there. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. I'm sewing in the hair. Like I said before, I'm doing the turnover method, and I'm sewing in double weft. This is so that I can have enough hair. I do not want the hair to look scanty. Right, I have a video on how to sew in. If you're a beginner, like you're new into this, I'm going to leave the link in the description box below, like detailed tutorial on how to sew in your client's head, and also how to do like for a wig. But if you want a new video on this topic, you can let me know in the comment section below. So now, to achieve like a flip in front, or a, you know, that curvy look that you guys saw from the beginning of the intro, you know, that curvy look in front, to achieve it, I'm going to be using Afrobeat. So this Afrobeat, I'm just going to be stitching it or sewing it in like so. I'm going to be sewing in about 4 wefts. So first, we just go ahead to measure the weft first to make sure that it's same length with what I have in front. That's, you know, the line B we created before. So yeah, we just measure it first and then start stitching it. Well, I'll start by stitching it in twos. So I'll stitch the first two and then second two wefts. Hope you guys get it. So first two weft first. This is so that I don't have like any lump on the hair. I want everything to be very flat, so that's why I'm doing it in twos. Again, before adding the Afro B, or before stitching in, or before sewing in the Afro B, you just want to make sure that the Afro B is actually facing, the tip of the Afro B is facing up. It's not facing down, like it's not lappy, it's not giving like a curve. It's facing, the curvy part is facing up. So that's what you want to do. Like you want it to be like, you want to make sure that that part is facing up. This is so that it can give like that curvy nature. And for this part, I actually use like one bundle. No, not just one. I didn't use one bundle. I used like, in a bundle, I used like half of the bundle, so it wasn't up to a bundle.
It started like a raindrop, raindrop, but it's already covering me. My heart keeps swaying non-stop, non-stop. I guess I gotta swim in the sea. I am not afraid of mistakes, rather figure out on the way. I'm not gonna hide what I feel. If it's real, if it's real, I got my light up, no crack, no care. Got my head up, I'm almost there. Oh, 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 oh. I got my light up, light up. I'm riding through the wild tide. I know there's only.
So once I'm done sewing the Afro B, we just continue sewing in the back side. That's the Daniela hair. So we'll just be doing this and also be doing the turnover method like so. So I'm sewing in the hair from the other side of the wig cap to where I actually installed the Afro B, which is the line B. And once I reach the part where I will have to flip over, we'll just go ahead and just flip it right back and continue to sew in.
No crack, no care. Got my head up, I'm almost there. Oh, 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 oh.
Because the wig is a side parting, like I told you guys before, I want to be installing more hairs to where I have more space. That's the right hand side. So what I'm just going to be doing is just to follow the lines. So where I have like a short line, we'll sew to the end of that line, that's the middle part, and then flip the hair from that part.
It started like a raindrop, raindrop, but it's already covering me. My heart keeps swaying non-stop, non-stop. I guess I gotta swim in the sea. I am not afraid of mistakes, rather figure out on the way. I'm not gonna hide what I feel.
So once I noticed that the weave-ons are getting pretty close to each other, we'll just start doing the round closing method. First we'll be taking, or we'll just take a weft and then sew it around. And then if it's a normal client head, you want to be sewing it round and round and round. But since it's a wig and I also want the hair to be like, we want a deep part, so I'm going to be sewing the weft bit by bit in front. So for this, you just want to measure the hair first. Like you use the hair or the weft, measure it around where you want it to fit in, that's in front, and cut it into, just cut it, just make sure it's well measured, and then sew bit by bit by bit by bit, very close to each other, so that there won't be any space when you try to open it, when you try to demarcate it into like a pattern, so there won't be any space. It's just for you to like sew the hair bit by bit by bit by bit in front. This is so that we can have like a deep part, because if we continue sewing it round and round and round, we might not be able to sew it like very close to each other. So this will give us a better result, and also for the fact that we want like a deep part. That's why it will also quicken the job, like quicken the whole sewing round and round and round. So you can do this or do like a round closing method. So the round closing method one for a wig might probably not give you a good result. Like you might end up not sewing the hair very close to each other. That is probably if we are not that good. But if you are good, you can go ahead to do the round closing method. But if you are not like a beginner, you can do this and it will give you the same results with the round closing method. Yeah, for this part in front, I'm sewing in the weft double, like I'm doubling the weft while I'm sewing it in.
I guess I gotta swim in the sea. I am not afraid of mistakes.
And then once I notice that the space is becoming smaller and smaller, we'll just go ahead to start or continue with the round closing. That we'll take a weft and continue to sew it round and round and round until there are no more space for me to install hair or install weft. I'm done with the sewing. We just take a tail comb and just go ahead to pattern the hair, and I use a scissors to just cut off or chop off all the flyaway hairs. This is after I finish combing the hair. I want the hair to be smooth, or want everything to lay down smooth. Since it's a synthetic hair, I'm just taking my scissors. We take my scissors to cut off or chop off flyaway hairs. Hey, another trick, if you notice that the Afrobeat is not laying down flat the way you want to, you just take a straightener to just curve it, use it to coil the hair, but make sure that the straightener is on low heat, not like a very strong heat or high heat, because if it's like a high heat, it's going to melt the Afrobeat, but if it's not, it's going to help coil the Afrobeat. So you just do this just so that you can get the results you want to.
It started like a raindrop, but it's already covering me. My heart keeps swaying non-stop.
All right, here is the final look. Thank you so much for watching the video from the beginning to the end. Hope you're able to learn one or two things from this video. If you did, just go ahead to give the video a big thumbs up, share the video to friends and family, leave a comment in the comment section below, and subscribe if you haven't. I don't know what you're waiting for. Just go ahead to click on the subscribe button to join the family, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.